Hi guys, welcome to the very first episode, our very first recording of our YouTube, whatever we want to call it. Is my camera recording? Ooh, I don't even know. All right, yay, we're here. Everybody. Okay, we're here. Okay. Today, unfortunately, we are down to two of our players. Just ran into technical difficulties, so if the cameras are a little bit odd, your problem, not mine. Also, we've got with us today, we've got Mandy, we've got Ethan, we've got Preston, and we've got Jacob. I'm obviously Mr. Jorgensen, and our producer today is Georgia. Hi, Georgia.
Hi, Georgia.
Georgia is our producer. Without her, we would die. Before we begin, we obviously want to thank our few sponsors that we have. KPGR 88.1, that is pretty much why we are doing this, is because they're willing to help us. Die Hard Dice, awesome. You get, I think a couple of you are actually using some Die Hard Dice, it looks like. I saw some of our regular dice bags come out. Blackfire Games in Pleasant Grove. Check them out, they're awesome, as well as Game Grid in Lehigh, another sponsor. And then lastly, we want to also thank D&D Beyond. Without them, we would only have a book. They've been super gracious and generous to us. So check out our sponsors, go visit them. I would like to say tell them we sent you, but that's not a thing. Like, they don't know, and it wouldn't change anything. Again, this is our first episode. This is the pilot, which is why it looks so bad. Oh my gosh, it looks bad. Cameras are staring at each other. It's cramped. Our set is awkward. It's my classroom. So we're just seeing how this will go. If you guys like it, please, please, please hit the like button, share it with other people, leave us a comment. Please be nice. Like, I'm fragile and I cry easily. So does Ethan. I've seen it twice.
What?
Leave a comment, be nice, let us know what you like, what you didn't like, but like it, share it, let's get this going. So before we begin, let's introduce our players more than just their names. Let's go around the table. We're going to kind of go the same route we did. Mandy, tell us the name of your character, give us your race, give us your class, and give us like a 2-sentence idea of who your character is.
My character's name is Eris Dalewood. She is a dark elf ranger. She's kind of an outcast, so she's trying to prove that she's more than just a drow.
Great. Ethan.
My character's name is Ulysses Sunscale. He is a cleric of Tiamat. And he's held a grudge his whole life for being named useless. So he's about to show everyone that he's worth something.
Couple copper, but at least it's something.
Hi, my character is Bjorn. I'm a beast-hide shifter barbarian. I fight so that others don't have to.
All right. Jacob?
Ardom is a Loxodon paladin. His family was attacked by a horde of undead when he was very small, and he took up the crusade of righteousness ever since then.
As you do. As you do.
Crusade of Righteousness.
Yes.
Okay, so welcome. This is kind of our introductory adventure to kind of hopefully introduce a story that we are going to be trying to follow over the next couple months. We obviously have our first 4 players here, but this is going to be a rotating cast. We do have about 10 total players, 12 total players. So don't be surprised if you see new players, old players. If there are certain players you want to see return, put it in the comments. Let us know who you like, because maybe we can do little one-shots with certain characters. If you hate me as a DM, I don't care. This might be the only episode I DM. We're going to try to make sure this is a 100% student run. That's really what we want here. But with that being said, are we ready to start playing?
Yeah.
All right, let's
Incredible.
start playing. Okay, so you four are sitting in a small tavern. You're not in any major city right now. You are actually I should have done this earlier, right? Is remembered what city you're in. Real freaking nice, Mr. J. We didn't figure it out. All right, here we go. You are in a city that, as we have this lovely map behind us that I drew, Waterdeep's right here. That's kind of the biggest city that we all know about. You're in a little city just to the north and to the east called Amphale. You are in this small, tavern, and you are all, we're gonna say, not down on your luck. You guys are doing okay, money-wise, but you are all considering if the right opportunity was to present itself, you would probably jump on it. You would probably take advantage of that. And you guys recognize each other. You've all been in this city for the past couple of weeks. Some of you were traveling through on your righteous crusade of elephant people, or some of you were spreading the good word of Tiamat. But you guys have kind of gotten stuck here because you don't really have a goal. You've just kind of like, I don't know what to do next. And while you're sitting there, a human woman walks into the tavern, and she is quite finely dressed. And you've seen her around town. Every time you see her, she is flanked by multiple guards, like bodyguards. This time she's not, which kind of raises a couple flags for you. But, you know, you're in a tavern, whatever, it is what it is. Everybody needs to get their drink on at some time, so whatever. But she seems to have walked in with a purpose. It's as if she's coming specifically for each of you. Because as she walks around the tavern, she obviously is not here for a drink. And as she walks by each of you, you each get a little tap on your shoulder. And when you look over to her, in a quiet voice, she says, "That room over there, please." And each of you kind of, okay, but not really having anything better to do, and maybe you've had a couple of drinks already this evening, you figure, why not? So
the
you
worst
each,
that could happen.
you each,
Couple few drinks.
a couple few. You each pick up your mug or your plate of food, and you kind of walk over to this side room. And when you sit down, you get a better view of this woman. The main room of the tavern was a little bit dark. I mean, it's just a couple candelabras, or not candelabras, a couple chandeliers with candles in them hanging from the ceiling, a large roaring fire on one side of the tavern. So the light is available, but it's just not that great. When you get into this room, there is better lighting. And you see the woman is wearing a military uniform, which is odd, because before she's usually been dressed very finely in nice dresses, and her hair's been done nicely. But now she looks very stern, very militaristic, and she has heavily grayed, long curly hair. And as everyone settles in with their snacks and the door closes, she begins to speak. "I and this great city are in need of your services. A fellow lord of our city, Lord Lennox, has stolen a family heirloom from my person. This heirloom is a magical artifact of unknown strength. We are unsure of what Lennox plans to use it for. But based on recent discoveries, we fear the worst. Unfortunately, with how politics work, we do not have what you would call usable proof. And we don't want to alert the fellow that we know. I would like to hire you as a group to retrieve this item and learn as much information about Lennox's plans as possible. I am able to pay you 500 gold per person.
Ooh.
And I will personally sign off on a letter of commendation from the city, which means if you are to ever run afoul of the law,
Yeah.
you may walk free when you may not have done so before.
This is a get out of jail free card?
I'm listening.
To an extent. She continues, the heirloom is a locket that, to the best of my knowledge, has never been opened, but reads with a very strong magical signature. Our investigation believes that it is in the manor here in the city. We know there is a significant guard presence in the exterior, around the exterior of the building. So, my fellow,
Criminals?
not criminals,
Heist members?
this is not a heist.
I mean, we're breaking into somewhere to steal some
You
powerful
are-
thing.
We are
You-
retrieving a stolen object. This is not a heist.
We're
Yes,
doing
It's a
this
stolen
kind of-
object heist.
you are retrieving a personal artifact for one of the city's more prominent citizens.
I'm down.
Okay.
I will accept.
Wonderful.
Can I get paid double?
No.
Dang it. Okay, fine.
And after you guys sit and banter for a minute, this woman stands up and says, well, we leave now.
But I need to finish eating my rat.
Eat it on the way.
Ew.
I've only had 4 pints tonight.
And as she says that, she just walks out the building expecting you to follow. Do you guys follow?
Yeah?
Stuff food in my I
You-
stuff
you
the
s-
food in my pockets first.
You stuff food in your pocket.
Can you
well,
put
I'm not hungry on the way.
can you fit this rat in your pocket?
It's like a big rat, apparently.
I can try.
Eating a rat.
There you go.
There you go.
Massive rat. Okay,
Right, take a quick swig and let's go.
as you guys leave the manor, you see there are actually 6 of these guards that you recognize as her guards waiting outside the tavern for her. As she marches determinately down the dark street of the small town of Amphail, yes, I had to check my notes. She leads you about 4.5 blocks down to where you guys know is the main manor of the city. The city isn't tiny. We're not talking like 300 people. It's sizable. There's maybe a couple thousand people that live here. But there are a couple manor houses that are owned by the local lords and nobility. And this, you know for a fact, you recognize right away, is the largest of them. So you get the sense that Lord Lennox is powerful.
Lord of Lords.
And the woman looks from the manor back to you. You guys are still about a block away from the manor. You can very easily see it. It's got large torches on the outside. And she says, that is where we believe.
We're going to heist that place?
Yeah, it's not a heist. It's just
Not a heist.
you're just retrieving an artifact.
By heisting it.
No.
And she says, nighttime is a good time, but it is not the only time
For
for this to happen. If you feel ready to go, you feel free to go now. I will offer you no assistance.
So do any of you guys have a criminal record? Like,
Of course not.
how experienced are you into heisting into rich people's buildings?
I mean, I am running from the Underdark, so
That counts as something.
I technically ran away from my government.
I have been arrested dozens of times.
He
Concerning.
brags slightly. Okay. Sorry, I'm looking at making sure this is still charging. So you guys have to make your decision here. You can just blindly go and
They don't
try
call.
to figure this out, or Let's let the dice decide something for us real quick.
It's not a real heist
If we
unless it's.
rest, I can prepare my detect magic spell,
Or
which could be useful. I
we
feel.
take the time to come up with an overly convoluted heist plan with so many twists and bamboozles they'll never see it coming. Or, second plan, if we don't know what we're doing, they can't know what we're doing.
That is an excellent plan.
Let's go with number 2. Let's just go in there just right now.
Okay. You guys just want to run at it, or
Hold on.
do you need some information from
How
me?
long? How long would you need to prepare your detect magic?
I need a long rest.
Or, I'm saying, half-cocked, just run in there, hope for the best.
So you guys can go about this a couple ways. I'm more than happy to let you guys go back to the tavern, take your long rest, and in the morning, you guys do know there are a couple people in town that you may want to chat with that may have information about heists. In fact, Ulysses, you know there is a thief in town named Vinny who may be able to help you guys a little bit. In fact, as you've been saying heist over and over
Heist,
during
heist,
this,
heist.
it keeps coming to your mind. Oh, I should go talk to Vinny.
Vinny.
Vinny loves heists.
I love heists. They go poorly often.
I mean,
Ardorn, you know that Lord Lennox, because you haven't worked with him, but in your quest to help and fight for those who can't, you have seen that most of the lords spend their time in essentially what is a city hall building on the other side of town, that's almost from this manor. Eris, you have this very odd distant cousin, cousin Francois, who you did not know lives in this city, but you ran into him a couple nights ago. And he's actually, you found out, he's been living here for a couple years. And so he may know a little more of the ins and outs of what's happening in the city. And Bjorn, you kind of get this, you were chatting the other day with a woman named Sally, who has been boasting recently of making large business deals with local lords. And so you guys, you keep coming up, you keep hearing from your party, we should just run at it, we should just do this now. But as you're thinking and as you guys talk about like, well, I need the long rest
And
for
we
my
are
detect
drunk.
magic, you guys have,
We've been
it's a
drinking.
little late. We're gonna say, because this is a high school thing, we're gonna say you are a little tired. Tired is the word. So,
Tired from drinking.
Drunk off of grape juice.
what would you guys like to do?
Guys, I know this guy, right? Vinny. He's like heists, right? And like he's all like, whew, I'm like heists. So like, I'm not gonna lie to you. If we do this, 100% guaranteed success rate. That's my useless guarantee.
So it's guaranteed.
A useless guarantee.
Oh, that's my name.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
of course,
yeah,
of
remember.
course, sorry. Well,
I
I
could-
say we rest up for the night and talk to Vinny, this Vinny character in the morning.
I might know someone as well.
We
Yeah.
coast on this wave of success and we go straight to Vinny. Like, let's say he's just like chilling in his house. We just kick down the door and we're like, Vinny, we have a heist. Or we could just start asking random people if they know how to help with our heist.
Or
Like,
knock on
guards,
his door.
Guards know a lot about how to stop heists. We ask them, and we do the opposite. Just go. Is there a guard nearby?
I mean the 6 guards that are with the lady.
Hey, you, Derek?
Nothing. Stone face.
How tall is Derek?
We're gonna say, let's do this. 6'3".
Ugh. Derek, can I borrow your armor?
Just stone face.
Hey, Derek, can you describe to me what a city inspector would look like?
Still just stone-faced.
Derek, are you even alive?
Can I pat him on the shoulder?
Just nothing.
My good friend Ulysses, it does not seem that Derek wishes to speak with you at this time.
He may be dead. Can I do a medicine check?
He's alive.
Maybe.
In fact, he lets out a little bit of an exasperated sigh as the lady just says, "Are you gonna do something or just?"
Derek here is being very
His
unhelpful.
name is not Derek.
What is his name?
It is of no importance.
Then he is Derek. Let's go talk to Vinny.
All right, let's go. Let's go
Okay.
find Vinny.
As I'm walking away, I point at Derek. I say, Derek, you have been of no help to me.
He just scoffs. You just turn around and start marching down the street. After about 15 steps or so, you turn around and ask the party, "Does anybody know where Vinny lives?"
You guys are smart. Like, where does Vinny live exactly?
At this point, you guys just get frustrated with Ulysses, and you all just kind of head back towards the tavern. And the whole way, Ulysses is like, "Derek doesn't live over here. Derek doesn't live over here."
Can I have my rat?
As soon as you walk into the tavern, Ulysses, you see Vinny on the other side of the tavern.
My face covered in blood from just recently eating this rat. I go up to Vinny. I say, "Hi, Vinny."
Vinny is he's a very slender halfling with one eye, with a huge scar running through his what would be other eye.
He's little.
And he just looks at you. He is little. He's only about 3 feet tall. He looks over and he's like, "What do you want?"
Vinny, we have a heist.
Okay.
We know so many things, but we just want to double check our plan with what you would do.
What's your plan? What are you heisting?
Just tell us tell us how we're supposed to do a heist. I swear I know what I'm doing.
You're heisting with an elephant?
Elephant wearing heavy armor, very stealthy.
Well, same as this lady over here. You got 2 in heavy armor,
Wanna no armor.
and this naked guy over here.
Hey, I'll have you know, I'm wearing almost nothing too.
He says, listen. The guild don't want no part of this ragtag bunch of whoosy-whats.
Ragtag's right, One Eye.
You throwing with the Thieves Guild?
Throwing with what?
You ready to go, son?
Go where?
Right now. And he pulls out a scimitar.
Oh. Oh. Can I have that?
Yeah,
I can have it right in my face.
you ask if you can have that, and he just stabs you in the shoulder. And you take
Eris jumps
1
back.
point of damage.
Ah.
Um,
Vinny, I don't want to have to kill you, but I will have you know I am fully capable of slaughtering everyone named Vinny inside of this tavern.
and
That's not a threat, it's a promise.
Vinny pulls out a hand crossbow and points it at Ulysses, and he looks at the other 3 of you and he goes, "Any reason your friend should stay alive?"
Plenty.
I'm gonna
He's
try to
funny.
knock the crossbow out of his hand.
Make a, let's see. Will you make a, we'll do dexterity check.
Guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, I have a master plan right now.
You're kind of being killed. You've just been stabbed.
Well,
15.
I don't wanna-
15 minus 1, so 14.
Okay, so you go to swing, and he just quickly shoots at your foot. And somehow, you're not quite sure how it happens, but he reloads another bolt and puts it back into Ulysses' face. He's like, "If you've got a proposition for work, you tell me."
Oh yeah, that's why we came here, right guys? I forgot, sorry.
We'd like to,
So we're on this heist, right? I think I mentioned this. Like heist.
You just said you want a heist, and you didn't tell me nothing else.
I
Good,
don't,
Vinny. We have been hired by one of the lords of the city. We need to retrieve a stolen magical locket. Would you be able to help us with that?
I was considering arson, but that seemed a little far.
Where's it coming from? Who you stealing it from?
Lennox.
Lord Lennox.
Don't want any part of that.
Okay.
He
so-
says, and he goes on to tell you that all of Lord Lennox's goods are most likely found in his manor, which is guarded by 4 heavily armored guards who patrol the outside grounds of the manor. He also lets you know that daily there has been large shipments of something to the manor. He's not quite sure what it is, but he does know that amongst the shipments are some digging tools and food. More food than Lord Lennox and his servants could possibly need.
Alright. I have an idea. I disguise myself as an investigator. Like, not investigator,
Inspector?
inspector, yeah.
And Artem and I, we're heavy armor. We could be a heavily armored guard.
You could be-
He's hiring
Yeah,
guards.
how about we take one of the shipments before it goes in, and we stick one of the small people, like we stick you in the shipment.
I'm only
And
5'3", I'll have you know.
So he's not hiring guards, he's already hired guards.
The inspector will have guards. That's me.
When's
My
the
name-
rotations? We could knock 2 out and.
My name
He
could
says
be.
they're constantly
My inspector
Okay.
name will be Douglas McDougal.
Okay, I might know someone who would know about these shipments.
Or
She's been bragging about receiving large sums from some lords.
We could go talk to her.
Let's talk to her and see what
Is
she
she
can do
going to
about
stab
getting us
me?
in.
No.
Not unless
Not if you
keep
don't-
talking.
Yeah.
I always keep talking.
Let's go
Have
talk to your business partner.
I ever told you about Tiamat? Oh, jeez, you guys are missing out.
Okay, at this point, Vinny is completely ignoring you, and you guys decide to go talk to this woman who you make mention of. But as you're leaving, Vinny yells out across the tavern, "Oh! Ain't nobody seen Lord Lennox in like a week and a half!"
Guys, he's dead.
You guys step outside to go talk to this merchant that Bjorn knows, and you realize it's like 1 a.m.
Guys,
We should probably try a little later.
or
Yes,
we
I
could
don't think
heist.
Most people don't appreciate 4 heavily armed people knocking on their door at 1 a.m.
I'll have you know, I have only this stick. It's like a mace, but he just calls it a stick. Stick!
It's a very nice stick you have there, Ulysses.
It has a bunch of bite marks like I've been chewing on it.
Alright, lovely stick.
Lovely.
How about we meet back up here at a more reasonable hour?
Do you guys know where like a barn or stable is for me to sleep in?
So you guys decide that it's time to just pass out for the night. You're just done for the night. There's not a whole lot else you can do. The 3 of you actually go back into the tavern where you've already rented rooms, and you go upstairs to sleep.
We just walk out and walk right back
Yeah,
in.
you walk out like, we're gonna, oh yeah, it's 1. And you walk back in. As you walk back in, Ulysses just like crawls up in an open barrel next to the building and falls asleep in an open barrel.
To each his own.
The next morning, you all wake up different times, but roughly you all come down, have some breakfast, and step outside just as Ulysses is tipping out of his barrel. It's mid-morning, so maybe about 9 o'clock at this time. You can see the streets are obviously a bit more lively. People moving about, businesses are open, all sorts of good stuff.
Now is optimal heisting time. People everywhere, daylight, optimal.
Remember, we have a plan. We're gonna go talk to his business partner.
I thought the plan was Inspector Douglas McDougal goes with his 2 guards and this guy.
Well, after, but we gotta get information first. Then we can put that plan into action.
As long as my plan gets put into action. Also, guess who found a dead fish in a barrel? This guy.
Oh,
Okay.
lovely.
At this point, Bjorn starts to lead the way as you guys are walking down the street learning about Ulysses' dead fish. You come to the cart shop owned by this human named Sally. It is not really a building, it's more of just kind of like an open work yard where she assembles, with the help of a couple assistants, all sorts of different styles of carts. You guys step up and you can see she is hard at work putting together more carts.
Alright.
Guys, I think I can take the lead on this one.
You know what, Ulysses? Maybe just come chat with me for a minute, and
Okay.
we'll let Bjorn handle his business.
Got it. So, there's this Tiamat, right?
Alright, so, approach Sally and
And she turns, Bjorn! How are ya? What can I do for ya?
doing mighty fine.
Didn't even say
So-
top of the morning.
Top of the morning.
Stay away from my Lucky Charm.
Bit of an Irish accent, if you will. Okay. So earlier you told me about some nice money you were making. I was wondering if you could
Oh,
tell me a
yeah.
little bit more.
Oh, no, if I what?
Some lords you mentioned.
Oh, yeah, Lord Lennox, yeah, made money, lords, selling carts. And she kind of like awkwardly goes back to working.
Eris looks over at Bjorn, kind of like, there's something going
I'm
on.
not gonna lie to you guys. I'm actually really good at detecting lies. Like, incredibly good.
Fascinating.
Yeah, tell me a lie right now.
The sky is red.
Insight check.
No. So she's just kind of like very much trying to ignore you.
Sally.
Oh, I got these orders to get out. Just go into town. Look at me. Hey, boys, would you get the other wheels? The iron's coming to put around the wheels. We can go get the. Oh, Bjorn, you're still here. Yeah, I got this wagon over here to work on. And she kind of wanders off.
Can Eris try some girl power? Kind of like girl to girl.
You look over and you're like, female may just be kind of a technical term for her.
Oh.
She is quite brawny, and it looks like she might be able to give Ardorn a run for his money here. Like, her forearms are thicker than your thighs.
I'm an elf, so I'm tall and
Oh, she is not feminine in the least.
Guys.
Yeah, I'm good.
She drinks and smokes heavily and sleeps on her face.
There is a 25% chance that if I go in there, I can get some information. 75% chance I get stabbed or arrested. Are we willing to take that chance?
So at this point, one of the assistants comes up and is like, can I help you guys? Like, we're really busy. We have some big orders. Like, do you need something? Or can, like, you're obviously making Sally upset. Like, can I help you?
Yes.
Okay, anybody gonna speak for the lizard man?
What he's trying to say is, do you have any more kind of information about your cart building shipments lately?
Right now, we've got a huge order of push carts. And you know push carts are essentially wheelbarrows that instead of like two handles on the back that you push, they look more like hand carts. So they're like, they've got like a thing that you push and it drags behind you. Let's see, make an insight check for me.
18.
Okay, you know push carts
There's
like
21
this, they're quite squat. I mean, they only stand 3 feet off the ground. You know these are very, very common for like excavation and mining.
He's digging a big pit under the town. He's gonna sink it all in just to get back at us.
You don't know that.
You don't know that.
Oh.
He's like, yeah, just got all these push carts.
It's kind of odd that you would need mining carts in a town such as this. There's no
Well,
need-
I mean, we ship our carts all over the place. Like
Where's this shipment going?
You know, that's private business. I mean, you're not our customer for that shipment, and like we really don't like to talk about where our shipments go because it's our business and not yours.
It's your business for carts?
Yeah, we make all sorts of carts.
Secretive carts?
Nope, they're right there.
How much does a cart cost?
Depends on what kind of cart you want.
Push cart.
Push cart is about 200 gold.
How many
much
Do
carts?
you
Gold do we
take
have?
credit?
No.
How
Darn
many
it.
carts are you making?
We've got 12 to make right now.
How much gold do we have?
I don't know.
No gold?
Look at your sheet.
I have 15 gold. I'm rolling.
You've been promised 500 gold each.
Yeah, I've got like 10.
Yeah,
Guys?
not enough to purchase a cart.
I don't think I have any.
Yeah, I don't think I have any either.
Well, do you need any help delivering these carts?
No, I think we're good.
We'll deliver them for free.
Guys. Charles McDougal.
Okay, at this point you realize you're not getting anything else
Okay,
out of
yeah.
these guys, and you decide to leave. So at this point you know the manor's getting shipments daily. It's food and digging supplies and other things.
Push carts.
There are extra guards at the manor. and that Lord Lennox hasn't been seen in about a week and a half.
If we build a catapult and then we shoot ourselves onto the roof, we can shimmy down the chimney.
Some of us could shimmy down the chimney.
Okay, flaw on the plan, Through a window.
Oh,
Does anyone else know anyone?
I recently figured out my cousin's in town.
All right.
We go talk to him.
Does your cousin have experience in stuff like this?
Well, he's lived here for years.
All right, sure. Let's ask.
My cousin.
Francois.
Well, yeah, but like, what is his rights and everything? He's an elf. Yeah, he's lived here for a long time. Is he older than me?
Where's my dice? There's my dice. No.
Okay, so he's younger than me, but he still lived here for a long time. So he
Let's
has
go-
some experience
let's go talk
in the
to
How
town.
old are you?
You don't ask a woman that. But anyway, I am 102.
Yeah, I'm
He's not much. He's not much younger.
I'm 103.
Lied the liar.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so you guys decide to go find this cousin Francois. You actually know that he opened a restaurant in town. And he has this patisserie, which he's just making pastries. And you go to find him. And when you approach the restaurant, you can tell that Francois has been very successful. He's quite friendly to you guys when you walk in. In fact, when he goes, "Oh, Eris! Oh, hi! How are you? Oh my gosh! How have you been? I haven't seen you in like a week.
I know,
What have you been up to? Are you
I've
doing
been
all right?
busy.
You got friends?
Yeah,
Are you,
this is
Ardom.
Ardom, this is
Bjorn.
Bjorn, and this is Charles Mc...
Charles McDougal! Oh, I recognize him!
Yeah!
Yep.
Yeah, he's a local
Inspector.
Yeah, great.
How openly displayed are the pastries?
Quite.
Eric sees he's trying to do something and slaps his hand away.
Okay.
No, not his hand, his entire face.
Smacks him on the head.
So you guys sit and start to have a conversation with him, and you are told that Lord Lennox used to come here to this patisserie, to this pastry shop every morning on his way to the city hall. Every morning, Lord Lennox would stop by and get the same 2 or 3 pastries and make his way to work. Maybe about once a week, he would stop by and pick up a couple to take home, but he's just gone missing. Like, he hasn't seen him in almost 2 weeks, which is really odd because Lord Lennox was always so friendly.
Always out and about the town.
Yeah, always. And so the fact that he hasn't been seen, especially at his very obviously favorite place to eat, is kind of a big deal. And so you guys stay and you talk with Cousin Francois for a little bit. In fact, he gives you each a couple free pastries. They are quite delicious. And you guys chat amiably and kind of just make small talk for a little while. After about 20-30 minutes, he says, "Look, Cousin Harris, like it's really good to see you, but I got buns in the oven. Not a woman, not pregnant. Okay, going now. Goodbye."
Nice to
And he
you.
kind of just hustles off.
Important city business, I need more pastries.
And he kind of like, and he looks at you like, "Should I give him more?"
I elbow her like, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, okay," and he boxes up in this like really fancy box, like a really big eclair.
All right.
And he's like, there you go.
Don't even bother taking out the box, just bite the box and the
It's-
thing.
Like he's still got his hands out, like, oh man.
Please excuse our friend. He's not
Okay,
quite
wow.
Civilized yet.
Okay, wow.
I'm plenty
Well,
civil.
It was nice seeing you, Uncle. Cousin.
Yeah, not your uncle, but okay, bye.
Bye.
Okay, so at this point, you guys know Lord Lennox is a nice guy. Like, he has been a nice guy, and he's just very much oddly missing.
I can't wait to steal from
Sally is making push cards for someone. Vinny also reiterates that this lord is missing and that the shipments are coming. So by this time, you guys have just kind of been wandering around the city, talking, trying to figure this out. I'm gonna say it's late afternoon by this time. Like the sun is starting to go down.
All right, I have 2 plans. Does anyone else have a plan they would like to share first?
Yeah, let's go. So when all the lords meet at City Hall, we could go there and see if anyone has any idea what's happened to Lord Lennox.
Or we take a grappling hook and we throw it through one of the big mansion windows, and then like on the 2nd floor or something, and then we like zip line in, and then.
Okay, so you guys, as you're walking around, Ulysses keeps making these suggestions, and you're just kind of like, no. The whole time you're doing this, you're kind of making your way towards City Hall, but you all know that by the time you get to City Hall, it's closed. There's no one there. There's not. It's well past time for them to be there. There's not going to be anybody there.
So it's like night.
Oh, we're gonna say by the time you reach the City Hall, and you're like, oh snap, oh yeah, like nobody's here. It is night.
It's
To camp out.
It's optimal heist.
You're gonna camp out here?
I'd say
We could stake out the front of the mansion. I mean, kill someone.
No.
We kill a
trying to go
guard. We
undetected
pretend to be the guard.
I would like to see you try that.
We
with
go
the-
home to his friends and family. We deceive them. We learn about his entire personal life. We go into work the next day. And we work, and then we go back home.
Okay, yeah, so you guys just shut down Ulysses.
Ulysses, no.
okay. Yeah. No. All right. So for a real plan, how about we go back to the mansion, at least for now, or mansion, manor.
Yeah. Essentially the same thing.
Tomato,
The
potato.
big house.
And we can pretend to be businessmen and just be like, hey, we'd like to speak with Lord Lennox about a business proposition and see if they'll let us in the house. Do some
Oh.
casing around there.
This is out of character. Eris is pretty feminine. She can be.
Okay.
Are you going to charm a guard?
She. No.
Seduce the guard.
I have charm person. I just might be able to.
She could be like a higher person from like another town,
Okay.
Yeah,
and
we'll
she
be
could have
your
her guards. She could borrow a dress from that lady, and.
I
go
don't know if
into
you
the
want to borrow a
man-
dress from that lady in
You can
particular.
try.
Guys, I can be a pretty convincing city inspector. Guards, we go in, we destroy everything.
No.
Yeah.
Okay,
no.
you guys gotta
Okay.
make a decision on what you want to
Okay.
do.
All right,
I-
Ulysses, let's.
I
I
think
like.
at this point
I like her plan.
we should
Let's,
just.
let's pretend to be her guards, and she'll have a business proposition. See if we can
Impersonating important
see Lord
people.
Lennox.
Okay.
We can impersonate any guard you like.
Sure.
Okay, so we'll go with this. Okay, so you guys make this plan. Okay, we're gonna take Eris, we're gonna fancy her up, we're gonna be some guards, we're gonna clamp Ulysses' mouth shut as the court jester who's only allowed to speak at certain times.
Or we can leave him outside and have him distract
I
the
don't-
guards.
Or he can be distraction.
I am so good at being distracting.
I
Okay,
like that.
Okay.
we know that.
We can
And so
tell.
you guys are like, yes, this is gonna be great.
I call dibs on
But
doing
you
her
don't
hair.
know where the lady lives.
Oh, true.
We could just break into a random house.
But
steal some
will
dresses.
you make a insight check for me, Mandy?
So who's doing her hair? I think I want dibs.
You're not touching my hair with your lizard hands.
They're very clean. I wash them in
Ooh.
something.
A what check?
Insight.
Insight check. 4 plus 10.
Or history. 10 for your insight?
Yeah. It's a 10.
No, not that
No,
one.
not
No,
that
you're
one.
this one right here. You're providing bonuses.
Yeah, it's just 4.
Is your history any better?
Plus 1. 5.
Not much. You remember seeing a dress shop in town.
Guys,
And
It's
so,
probably closed.
yeah, and so you guys
Head back to the
wander, and
tavern
so
again.
Eris is like, ooh, there's a dress shop.
I had
and
this
you just
rock.
wander and wander and wander. By the time you find it, it's very much closed. And so you said, okay, here's the deal. First thing tomorrow morning, we buy the dress, get you ready as guards, and we go over. So you guys go back to the inn for the night, spend the night. Your 1 hit point's very much obviously back. You guys go rest for the night, come back the next morning, you all meet up at the dress shop. You step into the dress shop and the dressmaker goes, oh yes, hello, how can I help you?
I'm looking.
I would like to try on a dress.
Not you. I was talking to the only one who is worthy of wearing my dresses.
Oh.
Ouch.
Yes, very much so.
I am looking for a dress.
Oh, absolutely. And he claps his hands, and these two Mondrones. They look like little robots, but they're little cubes. And the Monodromes are more circles. They're like this ball with like robotic arms. They come like clack, 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 coming out holding dresses like, oh yes, with your complexion, you're going to want to, oh, this color is beautiful. Yes, it's so good. It'll be wonderful. And he just like slams this dress over your head. It's like, it's just a little tug here. And could you, sir, help me? Yeah, okay, good. And he just like pulls this dress on over. Like, oh, maybe we should have used the changing room. No, it's good. Yes, this is beautiful.
I still have my scale.
Yeah, very much so.
Clank, clank.
And he's like,
clank.
no, this will not work. And he rips it off and like, it's like, into the dressing room. And he pushes you into the dressing room and he just starts throwing dresses over the door. He's like, try this one on. No, this one is the better one. No, you'll like this one. And you kind of like dig through them and you're like, I guess this one. And you pull one on and it fits okay enough for what you're trying to do. And you step out and he goes, oh, c'est magnifique. It was 200 gold.
Counter offer.
Counter offer, 5 gold and a high five.
I will leave if you give it to us for a price we can afford.
Will you never come back?
Yeah.
Persuasion check?
14.
I tell you what,
Shouldn't it be a deception check?
you wear it for the day. You don't like it? Bring it back. Restocking fee 5 gold.
I can come back whenever. I
You
want.
bring it back, you come back, you like it? 150.
Sounds reasonable.
Deal.
That's
And he
150 gold.
pulls out some papers and you sign it away and he goes, oh, just tell the people where you found it. This shop. And you're like, what's the name of this shop? And he says, this shop.
That's
And you go out and it literally says, this shop.
Really fancy
Yeah,
calligraphy.
super fancy. So you're kind of like
the
all
point
dressed
where
up
it
in
looks
this
like
dress.
this.
Your hair is like a bit of a mess. But in the window of the dress shop, you kind of like get it to where you want it to be. You two look guardy enough. I mean, large boy and elephant man. Like I think you guys think you're good.
If I'm going to be a distraction, I have one requirement. I need a jester hat that has little jingly bells on it.
There are none in this town.
Alright.
You guys make your way over to the manor, and you step up. You are just about to step up to the gates. You've made the decision that you three are going to go in together.
Let's put him in a barrel and chuck him over there.
He can scout the perimeter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh?
They've
Yeah.
told you like if you're going to be part of this, you're going to scout the perimeter and let us know.
I can be helpful, I swear.
And you're like, I'm scouting, and you just start running around the fence.
Good enough for me.
Okay, you guys step up, and you step to the gates, and a guard tells you, what do you want?
We would like an audience with Lord Lennox.
For what purpose?
I've been hearing of his recent trainings, and I would like to propose a trade.
Make a performance check.
It's charisma.
14.
He kind of eyes you up and down. He sees your dress isn't fitting perfectly.
Can I kind of, like, just...
You try to do that, and the dress kind of like moves awkwardly because it's not tight enough. And so, like, you know, when you look kind of like that, where you're like move and your dress moves the opposite way, and he's just like, and he looks over at you two, and he's kind of like, don't make trouble. And he opens the gate, and he just motions for you to go in the door. You see these three get in. They are walking into the door.
My plan is working.
And you're just you're running around the gates, and you see around the back side of the manor, there is one guard next to a crate, or not a crate, a push cart, and the push cart is full of dirt. and you can see that there is something handing up buckets of dirt to this pushcart. You can't see what it is from where you're at, but you can see the hands on the bucket from down below in the cellar are kind of an odd grayish color, maybe a little bit, have a tinge of green, and they're small. But you can't see what it is from where you're at.
Guard!
You very awkwardly say that, the guard can't hear you. You guys step up.
I'm gonna start my detect magic.
Okay, it's going now. You can detect something inside the manor and below you.
Okay.
What type of magic it is, it's so faint that you're just not quite sure right
Okay.
now. Okay. You guys step up, and one of you actually pounds on the door, and the door creaks open, and there's this little old maid that says, "Yes."
Hello, madam. We are looking for Lord Lennox, if you would, please.
Come in. And she kind of like steps back and opens the door, and she says, "Please wait in the sitting room," and kind of motions to a room to her right, your left, as you walk in the door. You go in the doors, and she shuts it behind you, and she kind of shuffles off, and you guys go into this very ornate sitting room with bookshelves lining the walls. There's a large roaring fire in a fireplace so you walk in the door, and to your right is a large fireplace with a large fire in it. There's a big coffee table in the middle of the room with some open books on it, a couple of seats, a love seat. There in the corner there's a drink cart. But you guys are, you go in and make yourselves at home. That magic sense, you get a stronger feeling that you're closer to it, but that it's below you.
Okay.
This old maid kind of shuffles off, and you don't hear anything. What have you decided to do?
So is the entrance to the yard area at the front, or is there one
So there's one on a main pathway that they went through this large ornate iron gate on a main pathway to the front door. Around the back, there's a very less ornate iron gate that is very much like a delivery entrance. It's like the back door.
I have a plan, so I think I'm gonna go to the front gate.
You're gonna go to the front.
I'm
gate?
gonna cast Disguise Self on myself to
Okay.
make me appear a foot taller
Okay.
and look like a town guard.
And you step up, and the guard for the manor says, "What do you want?"
There has been a string of arson committed by 3 people pretending to be nobles. Have you seen them around?
Okay. I don't know what to do.
Throw us under the bus like that.
Eris is gonna kill you.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Oh shoot.
The 2 big ones might be posing as guards, if that helps.
And he goes, "Are you kidding me right now?
No.
Is this like last Thursday with the bees?
What bees?
Oh, you know, we're not stupid.
Yeah, but
Was that you? Did you throw the jar bees?
no, but
Because
no.
we know. Oh, I saw a city guard run. Is this like the jar bees that you guys threw at
No,
us?
that was Maxwell Dougleton. I am Charles McDougal.
You sound related. Your fault.
It's my fault for this guy.
Yeah. So, how do I know you're not lying to me? Make a deception check.
Oh boy.
That's what the matters.
Oh, sorry. 13?
He doesn't believe you.
That I didn't throw the bees?
No, that they are
Arson.
that these are arsonists. You get the sense that the manor guards and the town guards
Don't
do
worry.
not like each other.
Sir, you seem like a
Don't even. Like, what? Why are you here?
Well, it's
You
important.
say there's a string of arsons. There ain't been a fire in this town for like
Not
a month.
Not in this town, dummy. I'm talking
What town are you talking about?
Waterdeep. 13 buildings burned down.
This ain't Waterdeep. This is Amphil.
Yeah, but we tracked them here.
How are you tracking people? Get out. Get out of here. So you guys inside hear this guard yelling. You hear a manor guard like yelling at someone. And you kind of peek through the windows and you see this city guard like pointing at the house and then pointing behind him and then doing like this. And you're just like, what is happening? Lord Lennox still hasn't shown up. We're coming back inside the house.
Okay. I have a feeling that we aren't going to get the audience we thought we were. Why don't we check around here?
You're not still wearing your scale now, are you? That would look weird with a dress, I would think.
Yeah, very much
Yeah.
so.
It's back in the pile of dresses in
Yep.
the dress shop.
Alright, well,
So
we'll have you look around and we'll stay here, and if she comes and asks questions, we'll say you needed to take care of herself. He's the ladies' man, if you will.
Thank you.
Okay, so you're gonna start sneaking around the house?
Yeah.
And since
Okay.
you're not in heavy armor,
So
I'm not in heavy
you
armor.
start skulking around the house. Upstairs, you find a couple of rooms that are. One is an office, but the door is the door isn't locked because you know it's an office. You open up the door. The desk is locked. There is a large wooden filing cabinet. All the drawers are locked. One of the other rooms is obviously the Lord's bedroom. It literally has a dresser, a bed, and a closet, and there's nothing else in there. You actually open up the dresser, and all the clothes look like they haven't been touched in weeks. Like they just. Everything in this house upstairs seems to just have a layer of dust on it. It seems like no one's been up here for weeks. You make a stealth check for me.
17.
Okay, you are able to sneak back down the stairs, and you skulk around downstairs. You guys kind of see her sneak through the stairs. As she comes down the stairs and off into the house further, you see that old maid just kind of like shuffle towards the stairs and look up them, and then shake her head, and then just keep shuffling along. You kind of start exploring the lower levels of the manor. You find a couple of servants' quarters. All are abandoned. Well, all the beds in the servants' quarters look to have been abandoned, except for one looks like it's been used recently. There's a kitchen that has some really poorly made food in it, like the soup that's on the stove looks like gray glue, and it's just kind of like, and it smells bad. You're just like, oh god. And you keep kind of sneaking around, and you find the door to the basement. When you open the door to the basement, make a perception check.
3.
Okay, you open the door to the basement, and you see that there is a light down there, but nothing else. Do you want to go down the stairs?
I'm gonna go back and tell them about this thing.
Okay. So she comes back and tells you everything she just saw.
okay.
Seeing Lord Lennox is not here at all.
Well, then what's in the basement? What's with the shipments?
He may not be here, but he may be down below. Because nothing's been touched upstairs. There's dust everywhere. His clothes haven't been touched in weeks. Either he really is missing, or he's been downstairs, or...
Downstairs for a week? I mean, there has been a lot of food.
And we don't know what's down there. Maybe he has more living quarters down there, or...
We should go check.
Seems odd to me. Lennox is a fairly outgoing person. It would seem out of character for him to shut himself in his house for a week.
True.
Okay, outside. Manor guard. Get out of here. Just go.
So I look over his shoulder. I cast Invoke Duplicity.
What the crap is that?
It creates a clone of myself,
Oh my
but not my illusionary self. Just
Okay.
actual Ulysses. And
Okay.
I'm just to be like, you may want to look behind you, and I create the illusion to make it look like he's running around into the house.
Can the illusion interact with, like, can you do more than just the illusion of yourself, or can you make the illusion like,
Actually,
of an open door?
that's a solid point, but he wouldn't have thought that far ahead, so it just runs like to the door and then just stops.
And the guard turns
my
around and he's like,
door.
hey! Just get. I swear, if something happens here, I'm coming for you.
You want another?
I'm coming for you.
You want another bees incident, Derek?
Bring it. I didn't tell you my name. How'd you know my name?
Wait, your name is Derek?
Yeah. What's it to you? McDougal or whatever the crap you call yourself.
Charles.
Okay, Chuck. And he turns around and just like, hey, get, what are you doing? Get off of the porch, bro. Get off the porch.
I'm just gonna.
And like this manor guard has turned around and started heading towards the manor. You guys hear
Just gonna whack him upside the
yelling
head.
outside.
No, that'd be.
I just peek out the window.
And
I'm
you
like,
see a manor guard like looking directly. It looks like he's looking right at you because this window is right next to the door, and he's like, "Hey, hey!" and like motioning, like, "Get out!" and like walking towards you.
guys.
To the basement?
I mean-
Basement.
Into the basement we go.
Okay, so you guys kind
which one
of
do we go?
hustle to the basement. Where are you going?
Oh, I'm going to go up. I'm gonna go past the gate, and I'm going to run to like around the corner of the mansion real quick.
Oh, you like the gate's closed. He didn't open the gate. He was talking to you through the gate.
Can I climb over the fence?
Make an athletics check.
Oh boy. Natural one.
Okay, so you're like, perfect timing. And you like start climbing, and you get to the top, and you're like, oh boy. Oh boy. And you go to like put your leg over, and you just slip, and like you fall backwards. Will you roll it again?
Natural one again.
Okay. And as you fall backwards, your pant leg gets caught into one of the spikes at the top of the gate, and you're just hanging there upside down.
Derek!
And at this point, he turns around and is like,
Derek, there's something weird going on.
it's like at this point, since it's ripped your clothing,
Yeah.
your illusion is odd. It's like flickering. And he's like, what? Hey, something's happening! Something's happening!
It's another
and all of a
bees
sudden,
incident.
guards just start, like manor guards. There were two behind the house helping with that cart and him out front. But now all of a sudden, from you don't know where, there are about 9 guards
Just pop out.
I'm about to be arrested.
filling
time, let's
filling this courtyard, and you hear like, no, something's up. Okay, Chad, other Chad, like
Please tell me there's Kyle.
Kyle, other Derek, and Travis. Bros, in the house are some dudes and a lady, and they're not, like, something's happening. Go check it out.
It's arson.
Shut up with the arson, man!
You want another bees
And
incident?
so, like, all of a sudden, you guys, as soon as you get to the top of the stairs, you hear the front door just poof, pound open, and you hear, bro, stop! Where's the bro? Where's the lady? I don't know, bro. I'm going this way. Bro, you go that way. Okay, bro. And, like, you hear this clank, ugh, like, and you get the sense that they chest bumped. Like, and all of a sudden, they're just, like, clanking through the house. Uselessly, the rest of them, the other 5, come over to you, and they're like, just wait till you come down.
It's another
Just
bees
wait till you
incident.
get
I
out.
cast create or destroy water, and it starts raining.
And they're just like, what the crap, man? And they all just kind of like back up a little bit out of your area of water. And there's, this guy's a magic man! Bro, just wait, he's gonna come down sometime. And you're about 10 feet off the ground, so they can't reach you. But you're just stuck. You can't do anything.
Now I'm stuck and wet.
Yeah. What do you guys do? You hear these guards crash in the front door.
Book it down the stairs.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys just poof, 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 poof down the
I
stairs.
try as well as I can. in
Do
a
I get any
dress.
more from my detect magic? 'Cause it lasts
Oh,
for 10
it's
minutes.
getting crazy. Like, you know whatever is magical in this house is down the stairs directly in front of you.
Okay.
Yeah, you lift up your petticoats, you're just like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Like, down the stairs, like, ah, crap. And you guys are
Off
just
my
like,
high heels.
boof, boof, down the stairs. When you get to the bottom of the stairs, the basement is weird. Like, it does not look like a normal basement. You get to where the stairs end, and you can see that there is stonework that should be the floor for about 3 or 4 feet. After those 3 or 4 feet, the stone is broken, and there has been a pit dug. Like the basement has been dug out about 5 feet deeper. In the bottom of this pit is a large black obelisk. And on the obelisk is a large necklace. And as you look around this basement, you can see on the direct opposite side of the basement, one of the walls has been knocked out, and there is a tunnel, and it's just black.
I'm gonna go try to grab the lock. Wait, I know the school, right? So can I tell what school it is?
The school would be
Death. Death magic.
Ask me this kind of stuff. Yes, the school is
Arson,
death.
school.
The school
Magic.
is you die.
The school is, and the game is over.
Ulysses is the only
evocation.
survivor.
I don't know if I like that.
You're the only survivor until you fall off of that wall, and then you're dead.
It's a fence.
A fence wall, same difference. Potato, potato.
It's a border.
Yeah.
Your pants begin to rip.
Oh boy.
Just according
I'm
to
gonna go try to grab the locket.
Okay, you run up and just grab the locket.
Yeah.
Okay, as soon as you grab the locket and pull it off, this black smoke erupts from the obelisk and begins to like billow at the top of the room, and bolts of like greenish sickly lightning come firing out of this cloud of gas.
Eris tries to say stuff but screams.
Okay, make an insight check for me, please,
Or him?
Ardorm.
Oh.
Or Arnum, sorry.
Yeah.
Good. 2 plus 3, 5.
Something seems wrong. That's about it.
Very nice.
Oh, we should
The
probably get out of
lightning
here.
is getting more intense as you sit and look at it. You two, will you make perception checks?
Now.
So is it 10 plus the past?
No, just your perception, just your regular perception.
Perception is
So it's
right
12.
there.
Okay,
4.
you're just with Ardorm, like, dude,
Dude.
Messed up.
Magic lightning,
you
bro.
hear
Put it back.
this odd, like, chittering and screeching, like screaming coming from down that tunnel.
I can make a sound effect.
The lightning is getting real intense right about now.
I can make a sound effect.
At first, it was like maybe 1 or 2 bolts every 3 seconds or so. Now it's like every half second, just.
Well, we can't go
Are
back
the
up.
stairs intact?
Oh, absolutely.
Do we go back up or do
Let's
we
book
go
it.
down the tunnel?
Let's book it.
If we go back
Out.
up, the manor guards will catch us. But if we go down, then who knows what's down there?
I'd rather face 4 guards than the unknown.
Okay, you guys go booking it up the stairs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you two do. What are you doing?
Can I just like look into the like
And I'm
walk over to
hiding
the
the
tunnel
locket.
and like
It's just dark, black, even beyond your dark vision.
like there's no cold drafts,
just black.
just black.
Yep.
But I do hear those noises.
Okay, at this point, the lightning, you guys don't see this, you do. You turn around, you went over to the tunnel while they sprinted up the stairs. The lightning sucks back into this cloud. And you see the cloud begin to glow and just grow rapidly. I need you two to make dexterity saves.
Oh, no.
You need to make a dexterity save at disadvantage.
Oof.
2.
Okay.
16.
Something has to be wrong with my die, because that's another nat 1.
I got 2 in a row.
But
It's great.
Dex save.
Yeah, dex save. I
Can't-
have minus
at
1. Magic, I
disadvantage,
got
so-
2.
What's the disadvantage?
Roll it twice, take the lower.
Roll it twice. 15.
Okay. You turn around and you see this lightning suck back into this giant ball of gas and begin to expand and glow, and the house explodes. You two are thrown straight at the front door, and you crash into these guards, and you feel debris from this explosion just stab into your back, and you each take 15 points of damage.
That's rough.
You see this, you get the sense that this thing is going to explode, and you just like duck down and grab the closest thing you can and pull it over yourself. The room and the house around you explodes, and you feel things just smashing against whatever you're covered in. But you actually had grabbed this large rug, this large ornate rug, and you're like, oh, sweet, because you could feel like whatever it was small that was hitting you. But then all of a sudden something large just right on top of you, and you take 10 points of damage.
What?
You can't do anything because you're hanging from a fence.
What do I see?
You see the house explode.
Arson!
I told you. I
The
told
guards
you.
are thrown at the fence, and the fence gets blown over and slammed into the ground, and you take 6 points of damage. All 4 of you are knocked unconscious.
They can't say I wasn't right.
When you wake up, you are sitting in the road in front of a crater that was the Lord's house. You are all handcuffed together. The lady from before who asked you to come do this says, yep, that's them. Arrest them.
Oh, hi! I said it was arson!
Hold up. You sent us here.
And the city guards, you're surrounded by city guards. These are not the manor guards. You see that you're surrounded by city guards. And they go to grab you, and they're like, my lady, did you? And she looks back down, she's like, I've never seen them before in my life.
I'm trying to like discreetly
where's
motion her
Derek?
over here.
Where's her guard, Derek?
She just goes, arrest them. I will testify against them. And she walks off. You guys realize you have no weapons.
Yep.
Your armor is gone. Any magical focus that you could have had is gone. All of your possessions, gone.
Including the locket?
Including the locket.
Rip.
In fact, you're looking specifically for the locket because you had it. You notice that as she turns to walk away, the lady has the locket in her hand.
Guys,
We've been had.
You guys are all picked up, and you are marched into a essentially jail wagon, and they slam the door shut, and they cart you off to the local jail. They drag your sorry butts out of this wagon, and they take you into, you each are given your own individual cell, and you're thrown into your cell, and the cell doors behind you slam shut, and they say, the city guard looks at each of you and says, trial tomorrow, don't look good for you. And he walks out.
I did warn them it was. Hey guys, I told the guards that you guys were gonna go in there to commit arson.
You did
and
what?
And then you blew up the house. So I look like I'm super good.
We blew up the house because this guy starts running towards the house. What else are we supposed to do other than run down this basement door we find?
mean to
Because
blow
you were supposed to be scaring the house, not telling them we were betraying them.
Why'd you blow up the house?
It was rather more of an accident, really. I was just.
Hi, everybody. I hope you're enjoying the episode. We had a ton of fun recording this one. This kind of sets up the story very offhandedly for what's coming up next. I really hope you guys enjoy it. I really hope that you'll subscribe and you'll follow along with us. We've worked really hard. Not just me, it's mostly a student-led program. These guys have worked really hard on story creation, character creation, plot development, and we've done a lot of really cool things here. So please follow along with us, subscribe, hit like, comment below. Please share this with other people. Talk to other people, get excited. We're gonna try to release an episode once a week. We might end up pushing it to once every other week. It really just depends. But the more support we get from you, the more we can do here. So please, please, please hit like, hit share, give us a comment or two, spread the word, spread the love. While you're at it, please make sure you hit up our very, very fine sponsors. Blackfire Games in Pleasant Grove, they have been wonderful. They've provided us with some battle maps and some support for our members. They're wonderful down there. Lots of great stuff. Lots of great availability for anything that you need to get started playing D&D. Also, if you're on the internet and searching for some cool stuff to look at, go over to dieharddice.com and check out some of the cool stuff. They are actually a local company. They're out of Provo. They have been amazing enough to send all of our players a set of dice. Even our new players are able to, the first time they come in to play, they get themselves a free set of dice when they do character creation, and it's so awesome. I actually use these wonderful emerald and silver metal dice that they were so wonderful to provide us with. So please go check them out, dieharddice.com. Support local. These guys are amazing. We love them. Also, check out Game Grid over in Lehigh, another wonderful local game shop. We have Alpine Gaming Con coming up over there in March, so please stay tuned for more details on that. And just make sure you follow us. Follow us on Instagram, PGHSD&D. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us here. And support these kids because they're doing some really cool stuff. Sorry to take up a lot of your time, but let's get you back to the episode. Thank you, guys. Peace. All right. Welcome back. You guys are in jail. All right, it's time for exposition. We love exposition. So, get comfortable. Everybody relax a little bit. Here we go. Let's do this. After being arrested by the city guard and dragged to the Amphil City Jail, you are each stripped of your weapons, armor, magical items, and anything else that could make you dangerous. Within days, each of you stand trial for not only the theft of Lady Hammond's necklace, but also the theft of the other heirloom artifacts from nobles in the city, the destruction of Lord Lummox's manor, property, and the murder of Lord Lummox.
What?
I'm only responsible for one of those.
Or is it?
We're only directly responsible for one
Okay,
of those things.
the trials move swiftly, and Lady Hammond even makes an appearance to give her evidence against you.
Thanks.
Every time you see her, she gives you each a self-satisfied smirk and a very subtle wink.
Do you think she's gonna pay us?
No matter what you say or do, the courts will not heed your pleas of innocence. Despite the case against you is shoddy and rife with inconsistencies, you are each quickly found guilty and sentenced to a life term in the prison camps on Chult. You guys know that Chult is this jungle island down here.
Ooh, sounds like my kind of place.
What's the worst that could happen?
The judge informs you that first thing in the morning, you are to be loaded in a prison wagon and taken to Waterdeep until the prison ships set sail. That night, you all suffer through a restless and stress-filled night, worried over what life in a Chult prison camp will entail. After what seems like an eternity, light begins to break over the horizon out of your cell window. The next few hours are a blur as you are all crammed into a dirty, barred cart and driven to Waterdeep. As soon as you arrive in Waterdeep, you are passed over to the city's jailers and are hustled quickly across the city and into a dockside, open-air jail cell. You seem to have a little luck at this point because not only is the weather fair, but it is late spring and the nights are getting a bit warmer. You spend the first night watching a massive black ship pull into the docks and begin to not only unload small amounts of supplies, but also, under the cover of dark, reloading quite large crates. During the days, the massive prison ship sits relatively quiet, but at night, for the next couple of nights, it becomes alive with activity. After 3 days of agonizingly watching your escort vessel being prepared with a handful of guards, They finally come to each of your cells. They put you each in heavy shackles and march you onto the boat. Inside the ship, it is damp, moldy, and it smells a bit rancid. You are placed in a row with 8 other prisoners, all of which are chained to a large bar on the floor. None of the previous detainees look up at you, and you each get the sense that at least one of these individuals are dead. Your sense of time is utterly destroyed once the guards leave and close the hatch leading to the top deck, and all light is cut off. You don't know if it's 5 minutes or 5 hours later, but you feel the ship begin to move beneath you. Small waves gently rock the ship. Occasionally, a large swell will hit the ship and throw you off balance. Combined with the dark and the smell, you are in a constant state of unease. Was that shouting up above? The ship rocks quite violently. Did you guys run into a storm? It didn't look like it was going to storm. Was that a loud explosion? Did the ship get hit by lightning? The ship rocks again. This time it throws you and the other passengers into each other. The iron bands around your wrists and ankles connect to the bar floor and prevent you from moving, but the rest of your body does so, sending pain through your arms and legs. You have a sudden realization: if the ship sinks, you're gonna die. There's nothing and no one to save you. The cold, crushing depths of the sea is where you will be lost. The jungles of Cholt don't sound too bad right now. Another explosion. And this time you hear wood creaking and cracking all around you. The other prisoners begin to panic as you feel something cold rush across your legs. In a shock of blinding light, the hatch above you is ripped open, and you see a figure peering down from the upper deck. That's when you hear it, the screaming. It's not a storm, it's a fight. You start to wonder who would attack a prison ship, but that thought is quickly pushed away as your eyes adjust and you see on the floor a few inches of water. The ship is sinking, and you are chained to the floor. Panic truly starts to settle into your chest when you begin to frantically work at your restraints. But a week of being underfed and detained has left you weak. You continue to fight against the iron bands, and in your futility, tears begin to well in your eyes as you realize your death is at hand. Hold on a moment! Got you here! Hold up! The voice is rough and almost unintelligible. But there's a flash of light and a loud crack, and the bar to which you are shackled is removed. You are finally able to freely move your arms and legs, but at great effort. Well, we'll take your help if you want to live, would you say? The voice asks you and the other freed prisoners. The individual asking for your help is surrounded by a small group. There are only about 5 of them, but you can make out in the bad light that they are dressed quite rakishly and seem to have a slight disregard for personal hygiene. You can hear more fighting up above, but before you can answer, a call comes from the deck. Siam, get up here! They're pushing back! The individual, Siam, looks from the hatch and back to you says, look, we'll take you off this here ship, but you gotta find the loot first. We know there's something of great worth on this here boat, and we want it. You find it, and we get you out of here. What do you say? And at that, before you can answer, Siam and the other members of his group rush back up the ladder and onto the main deck, apparently to rejoin the fight. So, you are in the hold of a sinking prison ship. Every check you make from here on out is at disadvantage because you have been chained to that bar on the floor for a week. So, what would you like to do?
I wasn't afraid we were gonna die. Tiamat was totally gonna save us the whole
You
time.
still have a
and
chance
she
to die.
has.
All right. Well, let's go up the hatch.
Or we go down.
Down is where the water is.
I can hold my breath for 15 minutes.
Sure, then you can try that. I'm going up the ladder.
I'm going down.
Where are you going to go down?
Are we at the very bottom?
You're in the hold.
Oh.
You guys have been like half awake, half asleep for a week, being underfed, and like pretty much sitting in your own filth, you have not been paying attention to anything. You've never even really looked around this room.
Oh wait.
I'm gonna look around and see if I can see anything,
Okay.
like any boxes
What's up?
or
Oh,
stuff.
wait. So we're in the same space as like all the cargo.
No, all that's in your area are prisoners.
Oh, okay.
Remember when you came in, there were 8 other prisoners, a couple of which you're pretty sure are dead.
Can I stumble around and like look for a wall?
Yeah, you can see around you. There's enough light that you all can kind of see roughly what's around you. You can see the 4 of you can actually see of the 8 prisoners that were here before you, only 3 of them stand up. The other 5 are either unconscious or dead. You can see
That's
that
good
at
eating.
this time there's about 4 inches of water on the floor. You can sense that the boat is slightly leaning to the bow or the front of the ship. That's the direction towards the open hatch. And the bar that you were chained to appears to be broken in 3 4-foot pieces.
I'm gonna grab one of those.
You can grab one of those?
I'm gonna grab another one.
Okay.
Is there any down trapdoors?
Make a investigation check
Ah.
at disadvantage because you were stumbling. And
Oh, not 20.
Okay, 13.
okay, yeah. So you kind of like you go to like I'm gonna look around. And you're like ah crap, and you're like your legs just don't seem to work well.
It's dark.
But you kind of bump around, but you actually do find another large hatch on the floor underneath or towards the stern or the back of the ship. And you can tell it's not locked.
Later convicted arsonists. Open.
Okay, you open it up. You guys are like watching as Ulysses kind of like stumbles around, and he's just like, "Later's arsonists, suckers," and he like flings open the floor, and light shines out from the floor. Okay. You don't know how it happened, but it seemed that something below is illuminating the sub hold. And you can see that there are some small. It's pretty much a small ladder leading down into it.
There's no water?
There's a little bit of water down there, but you can't really tell because you can sense that the boat is sinking towards the front, and you're at the back.
Let's go. I mean, I
I'll
will
follow
go.
him.
Yeah, you want to follow him?
Yeah, I turn around and follow.
But you guys are a bunch of criminals.
What
No
are you
thanks
like
to
going
you.
down into the subhold?
Yeah, I'm saying this as I'm going down.
Okay, so you jump down and you can see, once you guys go down this, you see these large wooden crates that you all kind of recognize. You've never seen them in actual light, but these look like the crates that were being loaded on the ship at night while you were imprisoned on the dock.
I
I'm
saw
gonna use
these.
my metal bar and try to pry one open.
You want to try to pry one open?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first one you come to, you just like jam your metal bar into it and start working at it. Will you make an attack roll on it?
At disadvantage?
Yep, at disadvantage. Just add your strength modifier to it.
Can I try on a different one?
Yes.
11.
An 11. Okay. Let's see. So you're able to jam your bar in, and it breaks through the wood. Go ahead and roll a d6 for me.
5.
Okay. So you jam your wooden bar in, or your metal bar in, and you hear this large crack, and like almost the whole top half of one side of these crates just falls away, and inside you see these massive canvas sacks.
I'm gonna open it and see what's inside.
You're gonna open one.
Yeah.
Inside, actually, you get the sense that there's quite a few of these bags. Okay. You open it up, and you see it's full of sapphires.
I'm gonna take as many as I can carry.
Okay, so you grab one, and you get the sense one's about 3 pounds. So here's the deal: if you guys find treasure, I'm gonna allow you to carry up to 25 pounds per hand. Is my allowance 25 pounds per hand? So you grab one bag, and we're gonna say it weighs about 3 pounds.
Okay.
So in one hand, we're gonna say you could carry
8 bags.
8 bags. Yeah.
Okay.
So like you just run the string over your, you know, when you do that with the groceries.
Yeah.
Yeah. You do that with one hand. You've got. So I want you to mark down that you have 8 bags of those. You do, Jacob. You have, or Artem. You have 8 bags of sapphires.
Are there any more left? Yeah.
Yeah, a ton.
Just from that one crate.
Well, so he's the only one that can see in the crate. I'm gonna say the rest of you, no, because you were the first one down. You see that there are 21 crates in here.
What was the glowing thing?
There's like 2 large stones hanging from the ceiling that look like they have light cast on them. They're just glowing, like they had the spell light cast
I
on
want
them.
to try and take one of those.
That's what you want to take?
Yep.
So you see 21 crates, 20 of them are identical, one of them is different.
Can I
Oh.
And you see 2 hanging glowing stones. You'd like the glowing stones.
Well, like as a real person, I would totally go for the different crate. But this isn't a real person, so
Okay.
he's going for the light stone.
Okay, you can have 1 because they're about this big and it's a rock. So it's going to weigh about, if a rock about this big, you're going to weigh about 30 pounds. So you're going to need to use 2 hands to carry this rock.
So I have the powerful build thing for mine, so I count as a size larger for carrying
So
capacity.
I've limited your carrying capacity because you've been
Okay.
you've been bound and weakened for a week.
We've been bound and starved.
Yeah.
Elephant boy.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Can I look at the different crate and
You want to go up to the different crate? You go up to the different crate and you see, let's see, the different crate. I gotta find my paper that describes my different crate. At the back of the room, this one is taller and made of a little bit lighter colored wood, and it even has a few holes like cut into the top of it. So it's taller than the other ones. The wood is a little bit. It looks nicer. And it looks like it has these round holes cut around the top of it.
Eris, look! I got a glowing rock.
good for you.
Rock.
It's
Gonna
very
do something
pretty.
Like
It's very
Madagascar.
shiny.
The
I
other
head
crates.
over to that box, and just like he did with the previous one,
The different box.
the different box.
So I'm going to tell you that the room inside this ship, you get one person can fit in front of one box at a time.
Okay.
Essentially, so she's already there.
Okay.
So I'm going to say you go to step that direction, and you're just like, I'm not going to fit over there.
Okay.
So Eris, what are you doing?
Can I try and open it?
Yep, make an attack at disadvantage. So you're just going to use your strength modifier.
Oh.
Roll again.
Roll it again and take your lower number.
It's a 9.
9 total. Okay, like you swing and luckily your bar goes through one of the holes and you're able to like catch it in the wood. Will you roll a d6 for me? And then add your strength modifier.
6.
Okay, you throw this in there and you're like, oh sweet, and you, as much strength as you can muster, you just like pop it, and the whole front side of this crate falls to the point where you can like look inside, and inside is a very odd glass ball, about this big. So it's just solid glass about this big. And it is filled with perfectly clear water. And there is no room for air anywhere in there. It is like 100% filled. Inside the water is a live goldfish swimming gracefully through the liquid.
Food.
On the pedestal that this glass ball sits is engraved a word. What languages do you speak?
I speak.
It's right on the first page here.
Yeah. Proficiencies in
Common and
languages.
Elvish.
Okay, you can't tell what this is. It looks, the word looks creepy. Like it looks, you're uncomfortable looking at this this word. But there is a word there.
Look, I found a glowing rock.
Okay, what are you doing, Bjorn?
Well, I think we found at least somewhere in this room is what those guys were looking for. So I'm gonna head up and try to go get those guys.
You're just gonna go up?
Yeah.
Okay, you make your way out.
Is there any way to keep the fish?
Yeah, you can pick it up. You have to drop your bar though. You're gonna have to use 2 hands to carry this thing.
I want to carry the fish.
Okay,
I wanna
so
keep
you
the
just like,
fish.
screw this, drop the bar and like grab this big old ball with a goldfish in it, and you just kind of like carefully start picking your way through these boxes. You have one hand full of these
Yeah, and then I have my
bags of
ball.
sapphires and the bar in the other hand. And you have a glowing rock.
It's so shiny.
Okay, you can't pick anything else up unless you drop the rock. You can't pick anything else up unless you drop the ball.
A very.
You have one hand with the bar in it. You have nothing.
I have nothing except my bar.
You have the bar. Okay, are we heading up?
Yep.
Can I
I'm
have
head
the
up.
fish?
Yeah, you can put large glass ball with fish inside.
Yay.
Okay. All right. So you guys decide. Well, I guess this is loot, and you start to head up. As you come up the stairs, when you get onto the next level where you were imprisoned, you can tell the ship is for sure sinking. There's about 6 inches of water in here. In fact, as you were leaving essentially what you're going to deem the treasure hold, there was a few inches of water gathering in there as well. The ship is leaning quite heavily, and it's kind of treacherous going. So if you're going to try to make any type of dexterity or athletics check, you will be, we're going to call it double disadvantage, and you're going to roll 3 times and take the lowest, okay? Because your muscles just aren't working and the ship is super leaning. Okay? We're talking Titanic, it's going to break in half type thing. No, it's not like that, but you know. Anywho, as you climb up onto the upper deck, all around you are individuals dressed in identical uniforms. Dark blue with tan pants. They are obviously the crew of this prison ship. As well as you recognize a couple from your brief passage across the deck when you were boarding. They are all fighting a group of rough-looking bandits. As you quickly scan the deck looking for the best escape route, you see that there is nothing but open sea for miles around you. There is another ship pulled up to the starboard side of your prison ship. So you're going to come up the hold because you're at the front of the ship. You're looking towards the back. There is another ship to your left. Okay. In all the chaos, you are unnoticed by the prison guards. However, you do recognize Siam in the midst of a fight with 3 guards. As you climb up on deck, you are amazed while you watch and see him down 3 guards with a blast of force from his hands. Our magic users, you recognize this as magic missile. As the guards slump to the ground, Siam looks up and says, "Oh, great! You got something! Hop on the Reaver!" And he motions towards his ship.
Okay.
Do I have
Let's
to
go.
eat my fish or do I have to give it to them?
Right now, he tells you to get on his boat.
If you eat the fish and
I'm
keep
not
it
eating
alive,
the fish.
In fact, like you're looking at this giant glass ball, like, I'm gonna eat that fish. There's no way to open that glass ball.
that's a problem.
Okay.
But I have the greatest treasure of all.
A rock.
Okay.
Smash the ball.
You guys just heading over to the other ship?
Yeah.
Okay. While you are heading over there, you hear a loud explosion, and chunks of wood and debris are sent flying across the deck. You all need to make a dexterity saving throw at essentially what we're calling double disadvantage. Roll 3 times, take the lowest.
Dexterity.
3.
6.
Natural 1?
Woo!
I got a 17, a 16, then a 6.
You two make strength checks at disadvantage.
Oh no.
Those two.
Just
Yep.
regular disadvantage?
Awful.
Oh yes, 13. Let's go.
Fine.
Okay, you are able to hold on to not only your
Yes.
bar, but the bags of jewels. You just stumble, and you drop this giant ball, and you just hear this clank, clank, and it just starts rolling across the deck. You all also take 3 points of damage as splinters of wood just pierce your sides. This giant glass ball is just it starts to roll away from you, but then it starts rolling back, and you're fairly confident if it hits you, it's going to break something. What do you do?
I drunk all the food.
Okay, make a dexterity saving throw at disadvantage.
Wait, double disadvantage?
Nah.
You rolled a 2. It's not getting much better.
Okay, so
It's
this
+5 though, so that's a 7 for you.
this giant glass ball full of water and a fish makes contact with your face, and you just feel bones break, and you take You take 9 points of bludgeoning damage, and you feel your nose break, and you feel a tooth fall out of your gums. And you are just bleeding profusely. But your face stopped the ball.
Can I grab it again?
Yeah, you're like crying, and you grab this giant ball, and there's just blood down the
Streaks of
side.
blood and tears.
You're just
Oh,
like,
my goldfish.
yeah, you start like moving your mouth around, and you realize there's a tooth and blood in your mouth, and you just spit out this tooth and the blood on the deck, and you all just kind of stumble onto the reaver. You're just like
Did
stumbling
nobody
off of
notice
this.
this in the chaos?
No, because there's a bunch of people just fighting.
We're trying to get onto the boat.
Did I notice this? I have a 15 in passive
No,
perception.
you didn't because you are like being stabbed with shards of wood in this explosion.
My rock.
What happened to her really was just like just real fast. Okay, once you are all on the Reaver with your loot, the rest of these individuals with Siam retreat back to their ship, and you see them pull out these massive poles and start pushing away from the prison ship. As soon as you guys pull away from this prison ship, it just starts to sink. It's just going under. And all of these kind of bandit, roguish looking individuals on this ship named the Reaver are just kind of like happily watching this ship sink. And you look over and you see there are 4 of those prison ship guards running over to the side rail, looking over at your ship, begging to be rescued. Siam is obviously in charge of this group and this ship, and he kind of just starts laughing. He's like, I don't know! And he kind of looks around, and he's like, what do you think, fellas? And his crew, half of them are like, yeah, bring them on board. Or, no, they suck, boo! He's like, huh. We'll kind of split. And he looks at you guys like, hey, what'd you think about us picking them up?
That's good eating.
Save them, please.
Let's save him.
You can eat
We're gonna
those.
save them?
No, of course not.
They done prisoned you. All right, whatever.
No,
I want
no,
their gold.
And he,
no. No, don't do it.
and he's like, well, you outnumbered, son. And he's like, throw him the ropes. And a couple of these rope ladders get thrown across, and you see these 4 prison guards scramble up onto it, and they get pulled up onto the prison ship, and you see them just, oh, thank you so much. And these bandit rogue guys just start like smacking them and like laughing at them and spitting on them. After a couple minutes, the prison guards, they seem to just not care. They're just happy to be alive. And you just see this prison ship just sink. And you all realize that on that prison ship, if you were able to pull 6, what'd you get, 6 bags?
I got 8.
8 bags of sapphires, there was easily 92 more bags in that crate. If that one crate had 100 bags of sapphires, what was in the other 19?
Not important. I have a
And so
rock.
you realize that, shoot, it could have been loaded. And so,
I have a
as you
goldfish.
guys
I am
watch
loaded.
this ship sink, Siam kind of like, well, welcome aboard. Y'all is pirates now.
Yes!
And,
Oh no.
I have a
and he
goldfish.
says, what do you think?
Yar.
This is
You,
not ideal for a paladin.
He tells you, you each got an option. You can be pirates, the rest of us, enjoy a good life. Or you can take a walk off that there side of the ship.
But there's nothing on that side
And
of the ship.
you guys kind of, and the 3 of the 4 guards say, yeah, we're in. Sign us up, and they rip their dark blue coat off and throw it over the side of the ship. One of the guards stands up and he's, I'd rather die than be scum.
Then
And-
get off the ship.
And Siam goes, I'll make that happen. And he pulls out this odd curved stick, and he points it at this guard, and you hear this loud bang and a puff of smoke, and you see this guard just crumple to the ground, a bright red spot on his chest. And the other pirates all laugh, and they pick him up and throw his body overboard. And he goes, well, what you thinking?
I'm in.
Yo ho ho.
Question, do I get to keep my
And he goes,
goldfish?
well, one condition. That's my treasure.
There you go. Do I get to say scallywag?
As much as you want.
Yar, scallywag.
That's right. He goes, tell you what, you want to stay on, be a good part of this crew, you're all welcome, like I said, but you got to hand over your treasure.
I have the greatest treasure. Let me go first.
You start kind of whimpering about your goldfish, and he hands over this odd curved stick, and the guy next to him hands him another one, and you see him click back a little lever on it, and he goes, well, I'll take the fish, or you can keep it and hop in the water with it.
Can I make a deal with him?
You can certainly try.
Like, it's not like a big one, but he can have the fish, but I get to visit it.
He goes, we'll see.
Close enough.
Can I
That's as
just
close as
name
you're
it?
gonna get.
Nah, you don't name food.
What?
I like them.
I just clunk my bags of sapphires down on the deck.
As you do that, one of the pirates rips them open, and you see inside there is easily 7,500 gold worth of sapphires inside
In just one bag.
in one bag.
Yeah.
I should've
That's
grabbed some.
whatever. But I have this rock.
He goes, time's clicking, Miss Lady.
I'll start crying and hand him the goldfish.
Huh?
I cry and hand him the goldfish.
Okay, you go to hand it to him. He's like, I ain't strong enough for that. Put it on the ground, roll it over.
Like a hamster ball.
Okay, so you place it on the ground and kind of like push it over, and he's like, someone got their blood on it. That's disgusting. He goes-
That's like table.
he looks, he's like, that looked like it come from your nose.
Yeah.
Looks painful, don't it? And he goes, all right, welcome aboard the Reaver, mates.
Yar
He says,
har.
make yourselves at home. And at that, a bunch of pirates hand you each a mug of ale and just welcome you on the ship. As you guys begin to enjoy the company of these new pirates, you see the sails come down and you hear orders being barked across the deck, and the ship starts to take off in a direction. For the next few days, you find yourselves in an enjoyable environment. You're actually enjoying this life. It's actually a
Scalawag.
lot more fun than you thought it would be. These pirates are actually quite welcoming once you've agreed to be part of the group. Even to those 3 ex-guards, they are perfectly hospitable to these guys now that they're part of the same team. You are quickly taught a card and dice game, as well as shanties, songs, and limericks that are used to help pass time on the ship. Soon a call is heard across the ship. Home sighted! When you guys start looking around, you see you've arrived at an island. None of you have seen this island before. And as the ship passes along the shore, you're unable to see any settlements of any kind. It's not until the ship turns into a large bay that you see, distantly, a large city. The city is dark and gray and surrounded by a large stone wall with guard towers every 100 yards or so. The dock connected to the city is even blocked from the main streets by a large wall and massive gates. You're able to see a great deal of activity on the docks as you pull in closer, and you see 2 other large ships similar to size and make of the Reaver. They are docked and being loaded and unloaded. As you stand and prepare to disembark, Siam steps up to you and says, welcome home. This is Iron Keep, safest place on Oman's Island.